The Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade.
Welcome to The Unfiltered by Jade, where we get out of the box and dive into topics that are sidelined. I look forward to entertain, educate, and inspire. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget. Welcome to The Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here Amanda Hill, and she is going to she's gonna let us do some introspection in our lives. That's what she's here to do. And before we even go into the topic today is what's your excuse? Because I want to know what's mine also, but what's your excuse? And before we even start talking about it, I want her to introduce herself first. So, hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. And how are you?
I'm doing great. I have you speaking here with me, so I'm doing great.
Excellent. I'm very glad to be here.
Sure. So I want you to tell our listeners about yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Who is Amanda?
Well, I was born at just 26 weeks back in 1970, and I weighed just 1 pound 9 ounces or 750 grams, and I was one of twins. And they had to give me oxygen at birth too because my lungs were underdeveloped. And unfortunately, they gave me too much because they couldn't measure
how much
the oxygen. Well, I don't know how much they gave me, but it was too much because they couldn't measure it back then as accurately as they could now. And they also suspected but weren't entirely sure of the risks of too much oxygen on the eyes. And it actually caused my retinas to scar and detach, causing total blindness. But at least I'm here to tell the story. My twin sister, she didn't survive.
Oh, no.
Even though she was a little bit bigger than me, she didn't survive. I was the one who fought and tried to pull out my tubes and try to climb up the side of my humidity crib and all sorts of terrible things. So I think I've been a fighter since day one.
No, that's really encouraging.
Yeah.
That's really something. Born at 26 weeks. That's really something. You don't really hear much of that happening, but you're a fighter, so you're here.
Yes.
And if they know how much fighting we have done since this one, or even they would understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. And so I was one of the first blind children to be fully integrated. There was a group of us, and our parents lobbied the government until the government said, yes, you don't have to go interstate and attend special schools. You can go to your local government school in Canberra. So I was one of the first blind children to be fully integrated into the normal school system. And from then on, I completed all my schooling, and then I went on to study a combined commerce law degree at the Australian National University, from which I graduated with honours in law. And then I went on to have a 17-year legal career until I was suddenly laid off. And that's when things started to get interesting.
Well, you have done a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, done a bit.
It's not a bit. You have done a lot. You have accomplished a lot, though.
Yeah.
So don't limit yourself by saying just a little bit. You have done a whole
Yeah.
lot.
Thank you.
So, okay. All right. So you said you worked somewhere until you got laid off. What are some of the challenges that you faced? In fact, let's start back at childhood to adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the challenges that you faced?
Well, I think the main one, I was lonely. I think that was a big challenge for me. I was lonely because I was an only child. My mother couldn't have any more children after me. And while I had friends, you know, they didn't live like close to me. And so I did spend quite a bit of my childhood on my own, which was hard. And then I developed a friendship with a girl in my first year of school. Actually, first day of school we met, and we were absolutely best friends. We were inseparable. And then, unfortunately, when it came time for us to go to high school, her father decided that she was going to go to school in another town. And so we were separated, and that was absolutely devastating for me. In fact, I didn't realize this, but I had abandonment issues until only just a few years ago. And it was only when I started working with a coach that she brought it up. Because I was always afraid to make friends with people in case they left me. Like she had. I mean, it wasn't her fault, poor girl. And I mean, we're still in contact now, and we're still really good friends, and it's all good. But yeah, because I'd been so close with her to the exclusion of all others, I didn't know how to make friends. And so high school was very, very lonely for me. That was just awful. But it had some loneliness, and having no friends does have its advantages. I used to sit in the corridor at lunchtime. I used to read my textbooks. So I actually did very well academically, even though I didn't do well socially. But then in the last 2 years of high school, I changed schools, made a new group of friends, and my life just completely changed. From then on, I learnt that friends didn't abandon you, that they were, you know, they could stick by you, that people did come and go out of your life. Someone sent me this beautiful email once, which said, people come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. So now I know that if I meet someone and then they leave for whatever reason, it's, you know, usually one of those. They're there for a season or they're there for a reason.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't have abandonment issues anymore, which is good.
Nice.
And I'm not afraid to make friends.
Which is good.
So that was one of my major challenges. The other one, which I still have today, which has turned out to develop another good skill, is putting people at ease. People still sometimes don't know how to treat me, don't know how to take me. I spent all my university time with panicky lecturers going, oh my gosh, what are we going to, you know, how are we going to teach you? What are we going to do? And, you know, I just sort of reassure them, look, you know, you just let me sit up the front with my cassette recorder and my computer, and I'll record the lectures and I'll take notes and everything will be fine. And you just get the print handouts to me as early as you can, and then I can get them converted into Braille or read onto cassette tape. And showing my age here, aren't I, talking about cassette tapes. I used to buy them in boxes of 100 because I used to go through so many of them. Because, of course, law has lots and lots and lots and lots of reading to do. So, so that was another challenge, is dealing with panicky people. But I think I'm actually quite good now at putting people at ease and saying, you know, just treat me normally and everything will be fine. And if I need anything differently, I'll tell you, and which seems to work well most of the time.
Nice. With your achievements professionally and personally, tell us about those, and why is it that you didn't allow difficulties to stop you?
I think most of the things I've achieved in my life have been through plain sheer stubbornness. I mean, if you tell me I can't do something, I'll find a way.
Nice.
My aunt in England told me I wanted to do some tapestry, some long stitch tapestry. And she said, "Oh, you can't do that." And I went, "Surely there must be a way." So it was just done in rows of long stitch, and she'd do one row and then leave a blank space and do another row, and I'd do the row in between. And then she'd leave another blank space, do another row, and then I'd do the row in between. And it was great. So I got to see what it was like to do tapestry, and all sorts of things like we're not on camera today, but I've set up a space in my office, which is a bit messy, but I've got this big backdrop hanging from the ceiling, which covers the mess. And because I'm totally blind, I've set up these things, like I've got the computer screen set. I've got a piece of sticky tape sitting on my standing desk. So I know when I'm lined up with that sticky tape, I'm in the center of the frame. I've got lights, screwed to the walls and stuff, so nothing moves. And so I know that things are right. So I generally find a way to do stuff. So some of my I guess, professional achievements, the last 7 years of my legal career, I was a legislative drafter, and that's a very specialized area of law, and I think I was actually quite good at it. And I was only laid off because the agency I was working for was downsized, and we all had to apply for our jobs again. And they were very, I guess, they knew who they wanted and who they didn't, and they kept 7 drafters and they let 7 of us go. So, I don't think that was a reflection necessarily that I was a bad drafter.
No, that was
a lot about personality and stuff. So yeah, so that was that one, I guess, getting honours in law. I was talking to an Asian guy the other day, and I said, "Oh, I promised myself that I would only do honours if I could get first class honours," and I got second class honours, and I cried for a week. And he said, "That's so Asian of you," which is so true. So yeah, I'm a high achiever and I'm stubborn. I've written 2 books. That's probably another professional achievement and personal achievement, writing 2 books. And I've had my own podcast, which had 25 episodes, and
Nice.
I kind of stopped that when I started writing my second book. When I was laid off, I decided I wanted to be a speaker, trainer, and coach. And so, first I sold skincare through a network marketing company. Didn't do very well at that, but did a lot of personal development during that, and eventually retrained as a John C. Maxwell speaker, trainer, and coach. And that allowed me to fulfill my dream of now being a keynote speaker.
Nice.
So I'm now building my career as a keynote speaker, talking to people about how they can overcome uncertainty and increase their resilience by building their courage.
Amanda, so listening to you find solutions for everything.
I do my best, yes.
Yes, you do. You find solutions for everything, which is amazing, because there are persons who can see that don't want to find solutions for most things.
That is true.
Right. But you go above, and beyond to ensure that you are capable of doing things for yourself, and you're capable of not using you not being able to see as an excuse to push yourself or propel yourself further in life, which is amazing.
I now see my blindness as a superpower, because I was at a conference watching Nick Vujicic. He's a guy with no arms and no legs, and I was thinking, oh gosh, he's amazing. He's so amazing. And I was thinking to myself, gosh, what would I say if I met him? And I'd say, "Oh, Nick, you're so encouraging. You're so inspiring." And it used to really annoy me when people used to say that to me, because I used to think, no, I'm not. I'm just leading a normal life. I'm doing what other people do. Just so happens that I'm blind. And then I started chuckling to myself, because I thought, it used to annoy me when people used to say that to me, and that would be the first thing I'd say to him. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet him. But then that was a bit of a revelation. I thought, well, gosh, if people find me inspiring, well, great. Let's use that to their advantage.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because I find you inspiring.
Thank you.
I do. It's just amazing. And it can change perspectives on how we view things and how we do things.
Absolutely.
Because at the top it said, what's your excuse? And I'm keep on asking myself, what's my excuse now for doing things? Because you have climbed mountains.
Mountains to Australian standards, but really it was called Poon Hill in Nepal.
Yeah, but it was still an
10,000
achievement.
feet.
It was 10,000 feet.
Yes, and
I am not going that high. I can tell you that for a fact.
It's really not that bad. You just get a little bit of a headache, and I think my fingers swelled up too.
See?
But with the altitude. But it was fun, and I got to meet lots of people. I got like really, really super fit. I had to train for 6 months, and I got really fit.
You see, I had to train for 6 months. Amanda, I cannot tell you if I can train for 6. That's what I'm saying to you. You're doing things and you're killing it out there, and you are making sure you still enjoy the things that you can enjoy and want to enjoy. Well,
absolutely.
You have others like myself not wanting to climb anything. I don't want to climb anything. So
I don't now. I've got arthritis in my feet and I've got a bad knee and everything. But the thing that made me train for 6 months and get fit was I was determined I was not going to be left behind. So, and the ultimate praise that I got, one of the Sherpas said to me, "You're a very strong woman." It's like, oh yes, I have reached my goal. The Sherpas think I'm strong, so that's good. Yeah.
What is support for you like?
I have wonderful support. My mum, my almost 90-year-old mum, is a wonderful support for me. She's we're a support for each other, actually. She's just sold her big 2-story house, and she's now bought a house just over the back fence from me, and we've taken out a couple of palings off the fence and we've built a path. And so she'll call me and go, "Oh, I want to put a picture up. Can you come and do it? Because you tell me I'm not allowed to stand on ladders anymore." So I'll go and put the picture up for her, and then I'll go, "Oh, Mum, I can't get my lights to work. Can you come and fix it?" And so she'll come over and say, "Oh, the plug's fallen out," or, whatever it is. And so we help each other. So she's a wonderful support. And I've got a couple of really close friends who are an immense support for me. But I think the biggest support in my life is God. I'm a woman of faith.
Yes.
And that is definitely my major support in my life is God, I think.
I love that, Amanda. I want you to encourage persons who feel like they can't achieve anything because they have challenges.
You can. If you really, really want something, you can do whatever you like. In fact, I've got my methodology. It spells focus. So fix your eyes on the prize, not the problem. Optimize your goals. So break them down into bite-sized pieces and just do a little chunk every day. Connect with your conviction. That could be your faith. That could be your why. That could be your life purpose. And that's what one of my books is about, how to discover your life's purpose. Upgrade your courage. So practice your courage. It's like a muscle. So, it gets stronger the more you use it. And the more you use it, you keep it strong by using it. Just doing little acts of courage every day, even by driving to work a different way, or saying hello to someone you haven't said hello to before, or speaking up in a meeting, just doing little things that makes your courage muscles strong. And finally, you can see your success by putting your courage into action. You can't just you'll never feel brave, ever. And it's about, as they say, feel the fear and do it anyway. And because you'll never actually feel brave enough to do what it is that you need the courage to do. You just have to suck it up and do it. And if you do all those things, then you can do anything you set your mind to. if you want it badly enough, and if it's humanly possible, you can do it.
You can do anything you set your mind to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I always go by, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen to that.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite verses. That and I have a plan for you.
Yes.
Plan for good and not for evil.
Yes.
Plan that will prosper you. They're my two favorite verses.
Yes. Man. Yeah, man. Amanda, where can we find you?
Well, I have two websites. My speaker website. So if you want to book me as a keynote speaker, that is amandaheal.com.au. amandaheal.com.au. And my book and my podcast, they are both at purposevisionfuture.com.
Okay.
Purposevisionfuture.com.
Okay. Awesome. Amanda, I don't know what to say in terms of everything that you have said. You have touched me. You have touched my soul somewhere. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
Yes. So I'm amazed. And I think I have a little more strength than I did previously in terms of doing things, because sometimes I see challenges and I'm like, oh, should I push? Should I, but you have given me some strength to go ahead and do something.
You.
So that's amazing for me. And even how you are. So you're still a high achiever. You don't take any and anything and settle for anything because you have difficulties. Right? And
that makes my heart sing. I'm so grateful, because that's what I do. That's my life's purpose, is to inspire and encourage others. And so I think that makes my heart sing.
and believe me, that's why you're here. That's why you're here today.
Thank you.
Yes. You see, God knew that we needed people like you to inspire us.
And I think so.
Yeah, he did. But no, it's true, because sometimes if we don't see these things for ourselves, we don't believe that, we can do something. Sometimes we have to see that other persons who have difficulties are achieving. So what's really wrong with you? What are you doing? Sometimes we really need that push. So you're that push for me. So thank you for that.
Oh, I'm so glad. And thank you for giving me the chance and putting up with all the, we had heaps of technical difficulties on my end and all sorts of things. So thank you for your patience and rescheduling and all sorts of things. So
that's fine. And you know what my husband said? He said earlier, when we were having the difficulties, he says, sometimes what God wants to use, or what's good, the enemy's sometimes going to try and stop it.
So true.
So continue pushing. And I mean, here we are. And if it is that we didn't continue pushing, the word that you have given today or what you have said wouldn't have resonated with me. So yeah, that really spoke to me.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate having you here, to be honest. Really appreciate it. And I'm sure, yes, and I'm sure my listeners also are going to enjoy this episode because you're real and you have shown us what to really focus on. Instead of focusing on negatives, focus on the positives and reach for our goals no matter what. That's what you have spoken on. That's what you have left us with. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. Now everybody needs to go and do introspection in themselves. Very good. So I want to thank you again, and I want to thank our listeners for listening to the Unfiltered by Jade. We'll be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you.